guitar that I've admired for a long, long time. And this is the Gibson version of Howard Roberts. And so we're going to go over some of the features of the Howard Roberts. And I bought this locally from a collector and who's fallen on some hard luck. And I ended up with it, and I fixed it up. Did a lot of polishing. I replaced some of the corroded parts and screws, and you got a beautiful guitar here. So, you know, Howard designed this guitar. Originally it was with an Epiphone, and then Gibson came and said, hey, can we, let's us produce it as well? So basically what you have here is a guitar that's built on the 175 platform. So it's a press top, but you got your sound hole instead of the F-holes. Now, what does that do? I'm not quite sure. There's the acoustic quality of it. Howard, you know, I've talked to Mitch Holder, who is a protege of Howard Roberts, knew him quite well. And Howard says, you know, the good tone is all in the bracing. So this particular guitar, I picked Bluesette because I remember Howard doing Bluesette, one of the albums, but he played it in 4. It's a very balanced sound. I mean, considering you've got a floating humbucker here, I think you get a beautiful tone. All right, so it's on a 175 platform, but with the oval hole, parallel bracing, 25.5-inch scale. That's where you're different, okay? Evany Bridge. You got your chrome tailpiece with Howard's little plaque there, which is kind of cool. The floating humbucker pickup as opposed to the Epiphone ones, which are Johnny Smith. Tortoiseshell bridge. Now, pickguard. I replaced, and you can see a little bit, it was a little bigger. I replaced this part. This was very corroded. This guitar was living by the beach, which is great for the wood, lousy for the chrome. Okay, but the tuners are in beautiful shape. Take a look at the tuners. Let me flip it over. There it is. And you got a couple of little dings on it, but hey, it's got the volute on the headstock, which, you know, I remember telling Mitch, I said, you know, I don't like that volute, you know. He says, you'll like it when you knock your guitar over and the headstock doesn't bust off, which, by the way, on my 66 Howard Roberts Epiphone, that did happen. So let's take a look at the back. It's a maple back, but the beautiful thing about this guitar, look at all the binding. You know, it's got like 5 or 7 ply binding all over the place. Not too many dings. It's got a little, oops, that's dust from me polishing it. A beautiful, beautiful guitar. This guitar has a Rosewood Fretboard. The frets are low on this guitar, and I was talking to Mitch about it. It hasn't been refretted. They might have been dressed at one time, but Actually, my Johnny Smith, that was around the same era, 70. That was a 78, and I think that this is around the same time. Had the same frets on it. So they, a lot of times they put low frets on things. It just is the way that it is. Now, why low frets? What's the big deal with those? Well, for one thing, it's kind of an illusion. You can really get the strings close to the fretboard, obviously, and you got to with a low fret. And when you play it, you pick up more of the fretboard sound, obviously, because it's hitting the fretboard. When you do that, you get a beautiful mellowed sound. So, so you get a beautiful tone with a lower fret. You might not get as much sustain. There's plenty of sustain here, though. But you get a beautiful, a richer, more mellower tone with the lower fret. There's no question about it. Playability, you get the strings low enough, no problem. Okay, let's take one more quick look at the frets. Can you zoom in on those frets? This guitar was not played that much. I love that inlay. Here's the back of the neck. Mahogany neck. It's a dark, deep red on this. It doesn't, sometimes it looks a little brighter on the camera than under the lights than it really is. There it is, though. Whoops. A Gibson Howard Roberts, and year is in the 70s, late 70s, 77, 78, something like that. If you're interested,